Always be a deep thinker and not an overthinker. Now one might think that both are same. In both we have to think simply. I say to you that thinking is a very natural part of a human. Almost all of us think. You will rarely find a person who rarely thinks. Every moment we are thinking. You might be thinking about your next meal. You might be thinking about your career. You might be thinking about your children. You might be thinking about the career of your children. And there are many various topics on which you can think. You might be thinking about your past achievements. You can think for future also. You can think of your past also. Thinking has no boundary. Now here comes the question: should you be a deep thinker or an overthinker? Before choosing any option, let us first understand the meaning of deep thinking and overthinking. Deep thinking is something in which a thinker thinks from all aspects possible, from every view angle possible, with different notions as possible. And in overthinking, a thinker thinks from one perspective, from one viewpoint, and always keep on thinking on same thing and on same matter. Let us understand with this the difference between both deep thinking and overthinking with an example. Suppose A goes on date with B. A is a man and B is a woman. Okay. At the end of the date, A proposes B. So we had a very good date today. Would you like to do a second date on some another day with me? Now B rejected A's proposal and B went to her home. Now here comes a situation. If A is an overthinker, then most naturally he will keep on thinking about the same matter all the time for his next few days about the rejection. B has rejected me. I do not deserve to be rejected by B. So A's mind will circumambulating around the matter of rejection. He will keep on thinking on rejection, on rejection, on rejection for many days to come. He will think, why she has rejected me? She should not have rejected me. And at the end, also he will be thinking about rejection only. Now, what happens in this overthinking is BA is thinking on same matter all the time, with one perspective only, with his own perspective only. And you know what is the result of this overthinking? This overthinking will bring tension to A. This overthinking on rejection will bring anxiety to A. Now, next time, whenever he will go on a date with another girl, he will be very much afraid of rejection. So, this overthinking is thinking on a same subject matter for all the time with one viewpoint, with one perspective only, with one notion only. Now, here comes another situation when A is a deep thinker. Now, A will think that she has rejected me. This is the fact. Okay. Why she has rejected me? Had I done something inappropriate while our date? A will think that also. And A will think that from the perspective of B also. A will just imagine, if I were B, then what would I have done regarding the proposal? Whether I have accepted it or rejected it. A will also think that, isn't it that under her family pressure she has rejected my proposal? Isn't it that as per societal taboo she has rejected my proposal? So here A is thinking not only on the rejection totally, he is thinking all the possible reasons for such rejection. And the most important point is he is also thinking from the perspective of B. Now, this is the difference between an overthinker and a deep thinker. A deep thinker thinks from other perspectives also, but an overthinker will always have his or her own perspective. This is the one drastic difference between overthinking and deep thinking. One is always keep on thinking and thinking. What matters is, are you thinking from your own perspective only throughout the time, or you are thinking from your own perspective, and on the same time and subsequently you are thinking from other perspectives also. There are many perspectives, there are many aspects. Society's perception, another person's perception, your perception, ideological perception. There are many perceptions. So from which perspective you are thinking? If you are thinking from any one perspective and all the time you are stick to that perspective, that perspective may be your own perspective, that perspective may be your religious perspective, that perspective may be a societal perspective, any perspective you are stick to, and all the time you are thinking through that perspective only, then you are an overthinker. At the same time, you have explored and you have thought from every perspective. You are a deep thinker because you have dig deep. You have thought deep and vast. This is the one major difference between overthinking and deep thinking. And what are the results of overthinking and deep thinking? In overthinking, you are dissatisfied. You will get tension. You will develop an anxiety. You will not get your answer in overthinking because you have not explored the other perspectives. Even if you get an answer, that answer will be false or illusionary. But from deep thinking, you will come very close to a true answer. And you will be more satisfied as compared to an overthinker. You will have a better understanding through deep thinking as compared to overthinking. Because you have thought from all the dimensions. You have taken into consideration everything, every perspective, everything possible you have taken into consideration. But for an overthinker, he or she has not taken everything into consideration. He or she is just stick to only one viewpoint, only one perspective, only one notion. And he or she is blind on the other side. A deep thinker is visionary from all the sides. He is thinking and watching from all the sides. Therefore, deep thinking can also bring you a solace if you are a true deep thinker. But if you are an overthinker, that can even lead you to migraine. Overthinking is one of the major reasons for migraine. In the example what I have given between A and B, date example, if A had a deep thinker, then he would have thought B's situations which are forcing her to reject me. A would have thought B's compulsion in rejecting. A would have thought, under the circumstances in which I have proposed B, those circumstances may have an effect on B to reject. Maybe there was some person present under whose presence B was uncomfortable to accept the proposal. That might be also be the case. But if A was a overthinker, then A would always think only one point: the rejection. Why she has rejected me? She should not have rejected me. Only this thing. He will keep on thinking, keep on thinking, keep on thinking. And he will develop an anger also, tension also, anxiety also. Anger he will develop for sure in this example if A is an overthinker. But if A is a deep thinker, he will develop patience. He will get an answer. He will get satisfaction. Even after rejection, he will get satisfied why she has rejected me. I have given this simple example of date. You can take any example throughout your life from your life experience on any issue, on any matter. Let me also tell you a good example from Chinese philosophy. There was a Chinese philosopher, Zhuangzi. He loved his wife very much, and one day his wife died. He loved his wife very much. They were a true lovers. Her wife loved him very much, but now he was all alone after his wife's death. He wept all the day, but at night he just sat quietly on a clean and silent place and just thought that before her birth we did not before her birth I did not meet her, and after her death I will not meet him. So I have achieved a state which was the state before her death, before her birth. We were known to each other only after her birth until her death. Now, where she was before her birth, she might have gone to that place only after her death. And this is the nature. So why to cry? Why to become sad if this is a natural fact? I was just only attached to my wife. Yes, she was my beloved and I loved her very much. But we cannot deny the natural fact of birth and death. Before birth and after death, and from that thinking, and Zhuangzi was a deep thinker, and after that night, the next day, when his neighbors came to his house for condolences, to give him condolence, and they saw Zhuangzi's neighbors saw him singing a very melodious song in a happy mood. Then they asked, your wife died yesterday and you are in a happy mood? This fact surprises us. Can you please tell the reason? So he then told this reason that this is a natural fact. Before her birth, I was not known to her. It is only after her birth I came to know her. I loved her. And this is a natural fact that one day she will leave. So nature has introduced her to me. This introduction is very delightful. This introduction was very loving and we loved each other. And now it's her time to go and she went. So what is there to moron? It is just a natural course which she has followed. And one day I will also follow my natural course. You will also follow your natural course. So this is what a deep thinker this is what a deep thinker is. A deep thinker always satisfy in any kind of situation, but a overthinker will always be tensed even his or her best situation. So I insist you try to become a deep thinker. Think from every perspective. Think from your own perspective as well as from others' perspective, from society's perspective, from religious perspective, from every perspective possible. There are thousands of perspectives. From each perspective you look, then you will get your answer. And never become an overthinker. Overthinking will develop anger in you, will develop tension in you, will develop anxiety in you. It will lead you to inferiority. Subscribe if you find this video helpful and share this video.